Representative Matt Gaetz introduces bill to censure, investigate judge in Trump 2020 election case. Republican Representative Matt Gaetz is introducing a resolution to censor U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan and initiate an investigation into her alleged bias and partisanship in her role. Chutkan is overseeing a case involving former President Donald Trump, brought forth by the Department of Justice, regarding his alleged conspiracy in challenging the 2020 election results. She has also presided over numerous cases related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol protests. Gaetz' resolution highlights instances of perceived bias, including Chutkan's comments supporting the Black Lives Matter protests and her political donations. Gaetz' proposal seeks to condemn Chutkan and have the House Committee on Judiciary investigate her plate for Trump's case is a point of contention, with the prosecution aiming for January 2, 2024, and Trump's legal team proposing an April 2026 trial date due to the preparation challenges. There's a very simple reason why the left is so persistent on wanting to get Trump charged before the 2024 elections is because they are very well aware that if Trump were to continue in his election campaign, he's definitely most likely going to win, and if he wins, then he will have the opportunity to influence the outcome of his trial. Immaterial whether Trump can influence the trial or not. The point here is there is a large amount of bias and unfortunate meddling within the judiciary system within the United States, and this is starting to cause people to lose a lot of confidence within the institutions and establishments that are running the show. This is definitely not going to play well for the upcoming elections for the Democrats, and they are desperately trying to get Trump out of this election race. Hundreds of migrants killed by Saudi border guard. A report by Human Rights Watch accuses Saudi border guards of committing mass killings of migrants along the Yemeni border. The migrants, many of whom are Ethiopians seeking work in Saudi Arabia, have alleged being shot, with survivors reporting severed limbs and bodies left on trails. The HRW report titled "They Fired on Us Like Rain" contains testimonies of migrants who claim they were targeted by Saudi police and soldiers using gunfire and explosive weapons. The Saudi government has previously denied allegations of systematic killings. The report covers incidents from March 2022 to June 2023, detailing shootings and explosive attacks with estimated casualties ranging from hundreds to possibly thousands. The scale and nature of the abuses may amount to crimes against humanity. Saudi authorities have rejected the allegations, while Yemeni Houthi-led government acknowledges deliberate killings by the Saudi border guards. I doubt there has ever been a circumstance in history where a government actually was honest about any negative press or negative circumstances that has been committed by their government. Therefore, it's a no-brainer that the Saudi government is going to deny all allegations. The truth of the matter is, nobody gives a damn about the people that is living here. Therefore, most of this will be swept under the rug, and due to the fact that Saudi is one of the richest countries in the Middle East, they are most likely going to be able to buy out or pay up anyone who wants to talk about these violent acts. Therefore, unfortunately, I doubt any of these migrants are going to get any justice anytime soon. Gas prices rise on fear of strikes in Australia. The possibility of a strike at an Australian liquefied natural gas plant has caused wholesale gas prices to increase in Europe. The Offshore Alliance Union has indicated that a strike at the North West Shelf facility could commence by September 2nd if salary negotiations fail. European and UK benchmark gas prices surged approximately 10% on Monday. Though prices had initially spiked after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, they had since declined. Concerns revolve around potential disruption of LNG shipments from Australia, a major global supplier, should Woodside Energy Group facility be affected. Additionally, Chevron, Gorgon and Wheatstone facilities are also voting on possible strike actions. These three facilities collectively account for 10% of global energy supply. Analysts like Ben Williams foresee a global impact of LNG prices if strikes affect Australian supply to Asia, potentially benefiting Qatar and impacting European buyers. Australia, Qatar and the US are among the largest LNG exporters globally. Higher gas prices due to Australian uncertainty are expected to contribute to a significant increase in off-gem prices capped in early 2024. The sudden rise in the amount of collective protest that is happening by workers around the world seems very coordinated, and this coordination seems to be happening at a very interesting time where majority of the world is having problems with energy and with transport and with all the other food inflation and prices going on. This seems like a coordinated effort by the powers that be to disrupt the world's economy and to disrupt the lives of normal citizens by causing fear and increasing the prices of stuff to the point that most people will be choked out of the ability to be able to afford living a comfortable and normal life. I think this is just going to get worse simply because everyone is only thinking about themselves. Nobody thinks about the future, or nobody thinks about the larger scheme of things. Not many people understand economics. Not many people care to actually watch the news and understand what's going on in the world. Most people are interested in entertainment and clickbait titles. Therefore, the coordinated effect is not being seen by the people that are on strike. All they see is some people have come to them and said, let's strike so that we can earn more money. Look, these companies are making a lot of money. And most of these people are falling for the trap without realizing that all these strikes is going to do is just going to make life miserable for the average Joe, which is them themselves. But I guess most people are quite comfortable with shooting themselves in the foot these days. China cuts key interest rates as recovery falters. China's central bank, the PBOC, has lowered its one-year loan prime rate to 3.45% from 3.55%, marking its second interest rate cut in 3 months. This move comes as China's economy grapples with challenges in the post-pandemic recovery, including a property crisis, decreased exports, and weak consumer spending. While other major economies have raised rates to combat inflation, China is focusing on stimulating its economy. Experts suggest that the rate cut signals the government's commitment to economic revival, but more substantial stimulus measures might be necessary to boost consumer confidence and prevent deflation. The PBOC also unexpectedly cut short the medium-term rates. China's property market issues, exemplified by Evergrande's bankruptcy protection filing and its slipping into deflation for the first time in over 2 years, have further complicated its recovery. Declining imports and exports also threaten the country's economic prospect, as does the unreported youth unemployment rate, which has prompted discussions on job expectations and government policies. Again, the same thing in a different view. Unfortunately, nobody is seeing the grand and greater scheme of things, whereby there is a coordinated effort to attack China, attack Russia, destroy the working class, and get rid of the plebs, as you would say. And this is happening in such a concerted and quiet effort that most people don't realize what's happening right underneath their nose. And unfortunately, this is not going to get better anytime soon, and it seems like we are definitely heading for a fourth turning, whereby a large amount of the old institutions and systems are going to collapse, and it's going to collapse very hard. And in my opinion, it seems like the powers that be and the elites are trying to make sure when this collapse happens, instead of the commoner taking over the system and resetting it to how things used to be, or coming up with a much more honest and safe environment, they plan to actually destroy most of the systems and have full control of everything, so that most people just end up being slaves in the future, whereby you have two classes, the elites and the slaves. Singapore helping Malaysia authorities retrieve data from cockpit voice recorder. Singapore is aiding Malaysia in investigating a recent plane crash. The cockpit voice recorder, or black box, from the crashed Beechcraft Model 390, which exploded upon impact, was sent to Singapore due to difficulties in data retrieval by Malaysia's Air Accident Investigation Bureau. The crash occurred near Shah Alam in Selangor, resulting in the death of all 8 people on board and 2 motorists. Experts in Singapore will analyse the final 30 minutes of the voice recording from the CVR. The Transport Safety Investigation Bureau of Singapore is assisting Malaysia's counterpart in data retrieval. Malaysia's Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siew Fook noted technical challenges and anticipated an analyst's announcement when data becomes available. Nothing much that can be said about this, it's just a very unfortunate event. Mortgage rates hit their highest point since 2000. Mortgage rates surged on Monday due to an increase in bond yields driven by investor concerns about prolonged high interest rates and inflation. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate reached 7.48%, the highest since November 2000, rising by 29 basis points in a week. Despite investors' expectation of economic deterioration, the Federal Reserve aims to see such signs before considering a policy shift, likely favouring short-term rates initially. Higher rates are affecting potential home buyers, compounding the impact of a pandemic-induced home price inflation. Homeowners with low mortgage rates are reluctant to sell, creating a golden handcuff situation. Home buyers are grappling with decreased affordability compared to a year ago, as rates were around 5.5% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. As a result, more borrowers are turning to adjustable rate loans with lower interest rates. Home builders are striving to offset higher rates through rate buy-downs and price reductions, but rising rates have led to a decline in home builder sentiment. Again, another circumstance that is just going to make things worse for the average Joe, and this is not going to bode well for the future of the younger generation and the future of the economy, nor the future for most people and their survival. Elon Musk voices support for Vivek Ramaswamy, pro-crypto GOP presidential candidate. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, has shown his support for Vivek Ramaswamy, a young Republican presidential candidate. Musk praised Ramaswamy as a promising contender after watching a segment of his interview on Tucker Carlson's podcast. Ramaswamy is recognized for his outspoken views on digital finance and cryptocurrencies, advocating for a stronger crypto landscape in the US. He announced at the Bitcoin 2023 conference that his campaign would accept Bitcoin contribution, offering donors a unique non-fungible token for contributing up to 6,000, despite facing lawsuits from former employees alleging security regulation violations at his co-founded firm. Ramaswamy's popularity has grown, leading him to connect with fellow Republican Ron DeSantis, Florida's cryptocurrency-friendly governor. DeSantis has also expressed support for Bitcoin and ranks as a strong contender in polls, alongside Ramaswamy and Kennedy, who have also embraced cryptocurrency. There are still some people out there trying to fight for the freedom of the masses. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they have the support needed to win. And the only person that seems to be able to do something about this is Trump, due to his outlandish remarks and the way he manages to capture the crowd. Only time will tell how this whole situation will unfold. China proposes to bring its social credit system to the metaverse. China is reportedly proposing the implementation of a digital identification system in the metaverse, a virtual world similar to the existing social credit system. State-owned company China Mobile has suggested issuing digital IDs for all metaverse users based on their natural characteristics and social characteristics to maintain order and safety. These IDs would contain personal information and be shared with authorities, enabling quick identification and punishment of users causing disruptions. The proposal is reminiscent of China's social credit system, which scores and ranks citizens based on behavior, with associated consequences like travel restrictions. The proposal was presented during discussions by the United Nations International Telecommunications Union, Metaverse Focus Group, and could signify influence standards for metaverse services. Chinese companies are reportedly submitting more proposals than Western counterparts, aiming to set the standard for metaverse protocols worldwide. Concerns have arisen about the implications of such a system, including potential control of identity protocols by Chinese authorities. Well, if you want to give away your freedom and your rights and sovereignty to a communist dictatorship, by all means go ahead. Unfortunately, again, nobody really reads the news, nobody even bothers listening. My average watch time is about 2 minutes, which means a good majority of the people that watch my videos, which is only about 20 people, barely even get past the 3-minute mark. And this is a clear example of how the world is just falling into crisis with the low attention span, and most people are just uninterested in what's actually going on around them. And when things start to hit the fans, and when we enter a Mad Max scenario, that's probably when everyone will wake up, but by then it'll be too late, and those who have been paying attention are the ones that will most likely survive, and therefore it will be documented and remembered and will be studied greatly in 50 to 100 years time. For all those that made it to the end of this video, I thank you very much, because not many people can even make it past 3 minutes, so I really appreciate your support. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Please like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. Thank you.